Hi there, Perfecto de Castro here and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. I haven't done one of these in a while, so let me tell you all about my latest guitar rescue. This is a 1984 Ibanez Roadstar RS440. Let's go. Okay, so I found this guitar on Facebook Marketplace, of all places, right here in Los Angeles. And it was listed as a project. It was missing the original bridge. So I got it neck, body, and electronics only for the great price of $70 US. Now, the thing that caught my eye regarding this guitar was this color shifting paint. I didn't realize that it was already available back in the 80s. And when I got the guitar, it did look like this was the factory color. You can see it all the way into the cavities right here. Aside from the missing bridge, this guitar also has its share of dinks and doinks, as you can see right there. And this particular paint chip also shows you that this is very well the factory finish. Now, when I first got this guitar, I planned to restore it to original factory condition, source out an original bridge and put it together that way. Then I remembered that the stock tremolo bridges on these guitars weren't very good, so I immediately scrapped that idea. Now, good friends at Vega Trem previously sent me this VT1 for another project that didn't get used, so I figured this would be the perfect guitar to host this wonderful tremolo. Unfortunately, when I finally got this guitar in my hands, the holes were in the wrong place and the tremolo cavity was too big. In fact, the entire Vega Trem fell through the hole. So I had to, rethink my approach. Now, as the guitar rescue plans were percolating in the back of my head, I started working with our good friends at Seymour Duncan. And they sent over these pickups and their HyperSwitch. So these are Hot Rails neck for the neck and middle, and this is the new JB Rails pickup. Super high output that will kick any tube ant's front end in the teeth. And then the HyperSwitch is a wonderful new innovation that will give you any pickup configuration that you can program via a Bluetooth app. So it's amazing. With all these pieces finally falling into place, the plan is now to turn this 80s Super Strat into the ultimate 80s HYPER Strat. That said, this video is not sponsored by anybody in particular. Vega Trem provided the VT1 tremolo and Seymour Duncan provided the pickups, not specifically for this video, but just for me to try out. And I am happy to be able to feature them and show them off to you guys in this video. If you want to follow along and incorporate all this stuff into your own project, please use my affiliate links in the video description to go gear shopping and help us keep making these videos for everybody to enjoy. Thank you so much. Okay, I bet you guys are dying to hear what this thing sounds like. So here is a quick jam over a backing track that I put together, and I will go through the different tones that I'm pulling out of this wonderful rescue guitar. Enjoy. Now, to get everything installed and working properly, I once again turned to my good friend Al Albert of Alethean Guitars. And here's a quick catch-up and rundown of everything that he did to bring this guitar back to life. Okay, so we're here with Al of Alethean Guitars. He did all the work on this Facebook Marketplace find.
Which is pretty good find. I've never seen a guitar this color before. It reminds me of a Nokia telephone.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you were just telling me a while ago that they've actually manufactured this kind of paint since it's been around since the 80s, right?
79.
79. Wow.
Yeah, that color is called Maziora.
Maziora.
Yeah, so it's the original color shift paint.
Yep. Like I don't know if you guys can see this, but yeah.
Yeah.
It changes color depending on the light. It's kind of like a mood ring.
Let's walk through all the stuff that we did to make this Super Strat Hyper.
Okay. When I first got this guitar, it had this pickguard, and obviously nothing there. And obviously it came with an Ibanez Edge 1, Edge 2.
No, it's rocker trim.
Or rocker trim, like even earlier than that.
Yeah.
There's a huge hole here.
Yep.
And
which we can still see if we flip the guitar around.
Which we could, well, kind of, because I put a battery there.
But you can see, you can see this big gaping hole right here, and this is the trem block of the Vega Trem.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and this trem block with the original trem used to be around this position.
Yes.
So all of that was just a cavernous hole.
Yep.
And Perf told me, "Hey, can you put this in there and just make it work? I don't care about the hole." But I told him, "But I do." So I told him, "Got a couple of ideas. Let's work it out." And we came up with this shape. We tried to find a shape that would cover the hole, but not look like it's covering something. Mm-hmm. So I think we kind of succeeded.
Yep. It looks factory.
Yeah, looks like my friend would say factory. That was a happy thing that came about. We also had to change the scale length a little bit because I only had, if you notice, I only had that much wood to work with for this to stand on. I actually need to be backwards by a little bit more, maybe like 1/8 of an inch. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I moved the neck forward, maybe 1/8 of a little bit, maybe I would say maybe 2 to 3 mm forward, so we would still be in tune.
Yeah.
So we made adjustments there so we can just use that spot. Otherwise, we'd have to cover it with,
plug the hole and do some woodworking.
Super tricky because we're gonna have to route it flat to expose the wood, and then put a new piece of wood there. And my problem with that was after I did that, the screws would fall into the crack between the two pieces that we made. And I didn't want to do that. Yeah. So I just worked with what we had. And
so if we did that, the screw would end up breaking the wood apart again.
That might happen. So I didn't want that. I didn't want to do it. Plus, this was honestly, it was just easier to do it this way.
Path of least resistance.
Exactly. Work smart, not hard.
Yes, exactly.
We also put in a HyperSwitch here, which I've never done before.
Yes, Seymour Duncan HyperSwitch, which is a
here.
Bluetooth controlled switch that has an app for every kind of pickup configuration that you can imagine.
Yes. So basically, it's like once you're communicating with your phone, if you move this, you can see the pickup choices come out, and it's pretty rad. Yeah. And you can basically manufacture whatever kind of wiring you want with your pickups. You want them. Yeah. You want these two. You want all pickups to sound together. You want these two guys to be in single coil when together. Whatever you can imagine, that switch can do. So
how easy was it to install the HyperSwitch?
Oh, the HyperSwitch was relatively easy to install because it's got a lot of videos and whatnot. And
solderless, right?
It's solderless. You just have to screw everything. And it's all color-coded, especially if you're already working on Seymour Duncan pickups. Yes. Because it follows the color coding for Seymour Duncan pickups. It's super easy to use. I'm impressed with it, the way it speaks to the app, though.
Okay.
That's very futuristic.
Right. And that's also why we have in the back, if you flip it over, so why we have a 9-volt battery right here.
Yes.
So the old cavity also came in handy.
Yes.
Because we didn't have to route for a 9-volt.
So I'm basically using the battery to hide the cavernous hole.
Exactly. Yeah, repurposing.
Repurposing.
That's what we do.
It was better than, making a bigger hole somewhere else. We couldn't do that here.
Yeah.
Because there's still paint there. If we routed that bigger, we'd have eaten up some of the paint, and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So we just put that here. I mean,
it's already there. Might as well
anyway.
use it.
There's a big hole, might as well cover it. And it goes all the way. This is flat out.
Yeah.
And it's still, you can still push it in there, and there's foam in there, so it's totally fine.
Yeah. And easy access too.
And easy access, exactly.
And then for the pickups, we have the JB rails. This is the new Seymour Duncan JB rails. And then these are Seymour Duncan hot rails for the neck and middle.
Yeah. They're both neck pickups.
Yeah, they're both neck pickups.
Yes.
The main reason why I went with the really hot pickups was to take advantage of the
PDC clean switch.
Clean switch.
Which is the first time I've even heard about it. And frankly, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's a very useful thing. I normally like vintage sounding pickups. I love the sound of Alan Holdsworth, that whole brown, like really heavy packed sound, which you can only get with a high output, high impedance pickup, right? But the problem with high impedance pickups is you don't really get a nice clean tone.
Yeah, you lose the chime.
You lose a chime, you lose a shimmer. And what the PDC, what's it?
Mars-tronic Perfecto clean switch.
Yes, made by Mars-tronic.
Yes.
So, and that's an idea you gave to this company?
Yep, it's our collaboration.
It's your collaboration.
It's my crazy idea brought to life by Mars-tronic.
And I must say, it made me love the pickups. Because now you got your clean tones and they shimmer.
Yeah.
And you can be raunchy and high impedance at the same time. So best of both worlds. I mean, I think this would be a perfect studio guitar. Like, you want to play 60s to 80s or 90s or whatever.
Yeah, the all-in-one Swiss Army knife weapon.
Exactly. The Swiss Army wife.
Nice. So we have the clean switch here, which is on a push-push.
Which doesn't really come with the set, which we
it doesn't. We use the Clean Switch Pro, which stands for Pro Install.
Pro Install.
not professional, not pro player, but Pro Install. And then this push switch is from Mojo Tone.
From Mojo Tone.
Yeah. So basically, the main purpose for the clean switch is not necessarily to give you a clean sound, but to give you to lower the output of the pickup so that you get back
a cleaner sound.
Yeah,
cleaner sound.
Yeah.
And but they have adjustments for serial and parallel, which is basically a bass and treble, right?
Yeah.
From my understanding.
That's for the treble bleed circuit.
Yeah, for the treble bleed circuit. It's just basically the tone shape.
Yep.
And it's set up now to sound like a Strat. And I must say, this is for the pickups that it's got, it sounds really convincing as a Strat, which is unheard. I've never heard high impedance pickups sound as clear.
So to round out the rest of the things that we did, since we don't need the locking nut anymore,
we took that out.
We took out the locking nut, but to ensure that the string doesn't jump the nut slots, we have a Graphtec string tee right there, which conveniently installs in one of the holes where the locking nut, so that's perfect. So we didn't have to punch any new holes into this.
I had to restore this too because it was actually flaking out. It was coming up. You know how these cars look like? These 90s cars where you see the clear top coating over.
Blistering.
So we had that going on here, so I had to repair that and as best as I could. But some of the logo is already missing. But we like the retro. We like the what do you call it? The relic look.
Relic.
So we're
and this is true relic.
This is
because it's the.
This is older than some of your followers.
Oh yeah.
This is what year is this?
It's like an 80. It's either an 82 or 84.
84. Right J84. So it's an 84.
Yeah.
So this is a true vintage guitar.
Yeah. That officially has a kid in high school now. If it were a person, it would have a kid in high school.
Exactly. So yeah, this is a true relic guitar. So all the bangs and whatever here are from years of play and stuff like that.
But unlike a typical Super Strat, we've made it hyper with the HyperSwitch, the clean switch, and the Vega Trem.
Let's not forget the Vega Trem.
Yeah. What's your impression of the Vega Trem?
I love it. I'm specifically impressed by the fact that the Vega Trem is the only trem I've worked on where it's not captured laterally. Mm-hmm. It's free to move. Mm-hmm. But they actually made the fulcrum side, it's a knife edge, right? Mm-hmm. It's not bearings. It's a knife edge, but they made it wide enough and the area big enough so when you're actually installing your strings are in tune, the friction holds it in place. Mm-hmm. That's great.
Very soft action too.
Very soft action. Yeah. And because it's not being held laterally, there's less friction.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so amazing to use.
Yeah.
And this will dive bomb like super easy and pull up as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And then I really like this touch with the pick guard. Because now, even with an old guitar, at first glance, it looks like the Vega Trem was made for it. Or the guitar was made for the Vega Trem.
Like my friend would say, factory!
Okay, Al, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, always a pleasure visiting you and talking guitar and having you work on the stuff that I can't do myself. You're a lifesaver.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Alethean Guitars on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. The name is Alethean Guitars, and my name is Al Albert.
Yeah. Go like and follow and do all the good things. Okay, midpoint-ish in this video. Please don't forget to give this a thumbs up like, hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and don't forget to ring that bell. And let me know what you think of this guitar's story so far in the comments section. Now let me show you how I set up the Seymour Duncan HyperSwitch. I am plugged into my Rev Generator 120 for some clean, overdriven, and dirty tones. And then at some point, I'm gonna let you hear this guitar doing some, 80s clean direct to the board tones as well. Okay, position 1 is the full JB Rails humbucker, which is very, very hot. Here's the clean sound. And then position 2 is slightly different. It is the split neck pickup and the split JB rails. So it's like a teletone. Now I'm going to skip position 3 for now because I have something special going on for it. So position 4 is the neck and middle. Full humbuckers in parallel. And then position 5 is a neck humbucker. So let's go back to position 3, which is my LA clean sound. Okay, so what's happening here is I have all 3 pickups on at the same time. The neck and bridge pickups are split, while the middle pickup is full humbucking but wired in parallel. So this is that classic LA clean sound, but without the need for extra and fancy LA switches and stuff. Right now I'm still running into the Rev Generator clean channel. Let me switch to my direct signal. So plug straight into my audio interface and add a lot of compression, you get that instant 80s clean tone. And if we add some more schmo, let's see, dual chorus, some delay, and big reverbs. Now that tone is unique and different from, let's say, position 4 on a Strat. It's similar, but not exactly it. Now let me go back to my rev, and even with the clean sound, you already recognize that instant 80s clean tone. Now let's dirty it up. Now, as Al already mentioned, we added one more thing to get the most out of these really high output pickups. And that is the Perfecto Clean Switch Pro, which is installed right here. Now, I already have a dedicated video on the Mars-tronic Perfecto Clean Switch that I will link to in the end screen of this one. So you can watch and learn all about it there. However, instead of lowering the clean switch to where it really attenuates the sound, I chose to set it to a higher point in its range. That way we take the output of these super hot pickups and make them react more like a medium output pickup. So it's like setting your guitar volume knob to around 7. Like that. But instead of hunting for that sweet spot with your volume knob, you can get right into it with the push-push tone knob. We also set the treble bleed segment of the Perfecto Clean Switch to a brighter tone. That way when engaged, we get a bump in the high end as well. On the neck pickup, it almost sounds like I am coil splitting this rail humbucker. Now the way I'm probably going to use this is to keep the switch engaged. That way I have my medium output humbucker tone. And then for leads, push it down so I get the full output of these hot pickups. of course, the Vega Trem still works as advertised. It's nice and soft and very expressive, and holds tune very well. Now for the meantime, I'm going to live with this guitar and use it a lot in my videos. But at some point, I plan to have it refretted with stainless steel frets and have this part of the fretboard worked on so that it has the correct fall away for tremolo use. To get the Vega Trem to work, we had to change the neck angle, the neck pitch of the guitar. So I have to be careful when playing in the higher frets and using the tremolo because there is a good chance of fretting out. Yeah, so the higher frets need a little more relief carved into the fretboard to fix that issue. But that will come later. For now, I'm going to play the heck out of this rescued 1984 Ibanez Roadstar RS440. Former Super Strat, now a HYPER Strat. As already mentioned, this video is not sponsored by anybody in particular, but thank you so much to Seymour Duncan for providing the pickups and the HyperSwitch. Thank you, Vega Trem, for providing the VT1 tremolo. And if you want to use these in your own projects, I will put affiliate links in the video description for you to use. Thank you so much for your extra support. Okay, so here's my in-depth video on the Perfecto clean switch, so click to watch, then go grab your guitar and play something. You all know the drill. Practice makes perfecto. Cheers, guys.